Hi, today's lesson will cover how to cite in the Chicago Manual of Style. Following the rules of the 18th edition, this lesson will introduce you to the parts of a citation. You will then learn how to cite different types of sources, how to create referenceless citations, and how to do in-text citations in Chicago. Chicago has two different styles. Notes bibliography style is used in history, literature, and the arts, while author date style is used in the natural and social sciences. First, let's look at the different parts of a citation. In this example, we'll use a journal article. To create a complete citation for this source, you will need the author, the title of the article, the name of the journal the article appears in, the volume and issue number for the journal, the publication date, the page numbers the article appears on, and a DOI or URL if available. Next, let's look at how to cite different types of sources and discuss some important rules to remember when citing in Chicago. When citing in Chicago style, it's important to remember that the first and last words of the title and subtitle and all major words are capitalized. Minor words appear in lowercase. This can be seen in this example of a journal article. In this example of a book citation, you can see that the author is cited in a last name, first name format with a period following. Finally, for this web page citation, I want you to notice that we do not include the website name, since it is the same as the site owner. Additionally, since the page has neither a publication nor revision date, we would include the date it was accessed. Each of the examples we just looked at are full notes bibliography style citations that would be found on your reference list. In Chicago, this list appears at the end of your paper with the lines being single-spaced, all of your sources in alphabetical order by author last name, and each entry should have a hanging indent. It is titled Bibliography and Notes Bibliography Style and References and Author Date Style. These two lists are very similar to one another. The main difference is that in Author Date Style, the publication year appears right after the author. A few other things are worth mentioning. Issue numbers for journal articles appear after NO. Short for number in Notes Bibliography Style, while in Author Date Style, they appear in parentheses after the volume number. Also, for Author Date Style, web pages with no publication or revision date have the acronym N.D. no date placed after the site owner or sponsor. Now let's talk about in-text citations. When you quote or paraphrase information from sources within your paper, you must include an in-text citation to help identify which of your sources the information came from. For Notes Bibliography Style, you insert a superscript number that is attached to a citation for the source. This can be a footnote placed at the bottom of the page where a source is referenced, or an endnote listed at the end of your paper but before the reference list. It is common to give a complete citation the first time you cite a source and then a shortened one in each note afterward. The shortened note includes the author, a shortened title, and the pages cited. In this in-text example, notice how the first note has the author's name listed in a first name last name format and how in the second note only the author's last name is mentioned. Also notice for both notes how all the different parts of the citation are separated by commas instead of periods. For author date style, you include a parenthetical citation next to your reference to that source. It contains the author and publication year but may also contain pages or other locating information. If the author's name appears in the text, it doesn't need to be repeated in the citation. The citation is placed at the end of a sentence before any mark of punctuation. In the first in-text example, notice how the citation includes the author's last name and how the publication year and pages cited are separated by a comma. Notice in the second example how the citation only includes the publication year and pages cited separated by a comma. This is because the author's name appears in the sentence. Finally, let's go over citation generators. There are many different citation generators, including those within the library databases. Always double-check the citations when using these generators. The most common Chicago mistakes to look out for are incorrect capitalization and punctuation, missing information, and parts of a citation appearing in the wrong order. Please see this example, where the library database forgot to invert the author's name and did not include a complete web address for the DOI. Also remember that Chicago's 17th edition may not reflect the updates of the 18th edition. To get more help citing in Chicago style, contact the library at ask.lib.ua.edu.